To Buffalo Wild Wings and the PA Pigskin Preview Season Finale here on 88.9 WQSU The Pulse. I'm your host, Matt Vargo, along with Bray Tate, and now we got Susquehanna head football coach Tom Perkovich. Coach Perk, thank you so much for stopping by again.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. And I'd just like to mention that Susquehanna is ranked 6th in the AFCA national poll and the D3 football poll. And correct me if I'm wrong, this stat somewhere about this is the highest in 35 years or somewhere around there. I just remember reading that somewhere. I couldn't get that into my prep or anything, but that's pretty impressive. But we're just going to start with last week at Lycoming. Susquehanna won 55-7 and presented the Landmark Trophy. What does this mean for the team to be able to win the conference 3 years, or Landmark the last 2 years and Centennial the year before, but winning the conference 3 years in a row and undefeated in the conference each year?
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment for our guys, our coaches, our program, our alumni, the whole thing. I think there's a lot of proud people, and but it's a lot of work. A lot of work went into it, and our guys have been really good at just staying focused at what they're doing, and to win is hard. To go undefeated, in conference is even harder, I think, throughout your year. But 3 years in a row is really hard. And just proud of our guys, and the way they grab onto things and they handle what we ask them to do. And, excuse me, and they love football. They love football. They love the university. It's just great to see them have the success we've had, and proud of our guys. And it's crazy to think that we've won as many games over the last 5 years that we have, and I think it's something like 48-5 or 6, and it's just amazing. Consistency's hard in college football with transient, guys graduating and those things, and the consistency just tells a lot about our players and our coaching staff and the work they put in on a yearly basis.
Definitely an impressive program, and we'll talk about guys graduating and everything a little later, but right now we're going to talk about the NCAA selection show that was on Sunday, and you and your team found out that you will have a bye week this week and then play Hobart next weekend. Hobart College, they beat Moravian 27-12, and Susquehanna beat Moravian 49-34. They beat Keystone 52-9, and Susquehanna beat Keystone as well 79-6. So just some common opponents, and seems like should be a pretty good matchup. But what have you seen from Hobart College on film so far, and how's the team preparing?
Yeah, Hobart's really good. I think when you get to this point of the playoffs, everyone's really good. They're an overtime loss to a perennial top 25 team away from being undefeated. They're really good on defense. Very athletic, very active, throw a lot of different things at you, different coverages and things, and they've got a few players that are really problematic, and then offensively they're really efficient. They're going to try to run the ball, keep it controlled, keep them in good third down situations. And if you can't stop the run, they're going to just keep it going and keep it going. I don't think they've thrown the ball more than 20 times all year, in any game. So, they want to control the pace. They want to control the clock, play great defense. And, as I told our players, they're happy beating you, 2017 or, by whatever it is. They don't care about the margin of victory or anything. So they're gritty. They're good. They're going to be a tough opponent for sure.
Okay, and like we mentioned, bye week, so we don't have anything to quote-unquote look forward to for this weekend in games and everything, but the Landmark selection and awards were just released this afternoon, and just going to highlight those players to start off with. We have Garrett Carter as the Defensive Player of the Year, Josh Ehrlich, Offensive Player of the Year, Rashawn Lamont, Rookie of the Year. We talked about that earlier. But these three specifically, what have you liked from how they played this season so far?
Yeah, starting with Garrett, he's been a multiple-year starter for us, kind of the backbone of our linebacker core, our box, and Garrett might have been the player of the year last year if he didn't get hurt late in the season. Was having an outstanding year there. He's a big athletic kid and works incredibly hard at what he's trying to do, and got named captain this year, which was a big step for him. And just proud of anything we've asked him to do, he's done. He's moved positions in certain games and those type of things. But his leadership and the way he plays and prepares really makes other people around him better. But he's a great player. He shows up, and everyone knows that you got to handle him in the middle of our defense. And he's made some great plays all year for us. Josh, I've said this a couple times in interviews, and I don't know if I've seen a kid improve this far in 1 year that Josh has. Last year, at this time of the year, we were pulling our hair out. To be honest, he had a good year. He ran the ball a lot. He did over 800 yards rushing a year ago, which you really don't want your quarterback to do unless you're maybe triple option, and we're not. It was tough for him to throw the ball. He wasn't seeing it great. He wasn't pulling the trigger on things, and we challenged him. He went to work in the off season, and man, did he come out this year. It's just been unbelievable to see what he's done and the numbers that he's put up, and you look at him and you're like, wow, those are great. And then you start thinking about how many second halves and fourth quarters that he didn't play, and you're just, it just blows you away on the production with 28 touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. He's been just all over the place and much deserved. Not a lot of times you have 2 guys on your roster that were players of the year in different years on the same roster, so pretty cool there. And then Rashawn, everyone knows. I mean, he's he might be the best freshman in the country. He just can change a game really quickly in a lot of ways, right? Whether it's running the football, obviously, with what he's done there, and he's a great guy out of the backfield and catching the football, and then obviously the return game. I mean, people stop. Our field position battle has been pretty impressive because no one wants to kick to us, so been able to take advantage of that. But those 3 guys have had great years, and they're well deserved. And we have probably a couple other guys that could be up for those awards, especially offensively, with what's kind of gone on. But I think Josh has really just killed it this year. His efficiency rating was crazy, and just really proud of him overall.
Of course. And coming up, we have a lot of names to mention, but I just want to highlight all of them. So we're just going to start off with the first team All-Landmark. Again, Rashawn Lamons, running back and returner. Chris Buchter, wide receiver. Kyle Howes, wide receiver as well. Rowan Hershey, tight end. Nick Gonzalez, offensive line. Eli Cantor, offensive line. And Hunter Shimko, offensive line. So what have you liked from your offense so far?
Well,
we kind of already discussed a little bit.
He kind of knows some of it. I think we've really grabbed on to a new coordinator, right? I gave up the play calling duties. Mike Wine's done a crazy job. He's just been right on with the game plans, and I'm involved. Obviously, I'm right there with him, and we just work together so well. And he's done a great job of giving people a lot of different looks, but in the end of the day, we got the ball to the right people. I think that was what our goal always is. You see our best players having the biggest numbers and keeping people off balance, and we've thrown a lot at our guys. We throw some new plays, new concepts, new ways to look at things, and they've just grabbed onto it and taken it and run with it. And week after week, it's not. I've done that other years, and it's not been great. You pull your hair out a little bit, but this group's been awesome. Just to see their production. I mean, we're the number 3 offense in the country, right? We're 48.5 points a game. Those are also school records that will get posted at some point when we're done. We're top 11 or 12 in third down percentage, number 1 in the country in fourth down percentage. Like, you just think about the situational football. Some red zone woes early in the year, some turnovers early against Moravian that hurt you, but it's just we just keep coming and coming and coming, and our guys have been so productive. And now we got to do it for real, though. That's the thing. I mean, you can be whatever you are in the regular season. You got to do it in the postseason. But been really proud of how our guys have just day by day grabbed on to what we're asking them.
And then the rest of the first team all landmark, we have Brian Layton, defensive line, Jake Schultes, defensive line, Drew Robinson, linebacker, Jesse Rouge, linebacker, Andrew Wells, defensive back, and Stephen Williams, defensive back as well. Can you talk a little bit about your defense so far this season?
Yeah, we've had our ups and downs, We're still really good, though. You look at us statistically, comparative in our conference. I think we were number one in maybe scoring defense in the end of the year, and number one rush defense, and second, I think, by maybe a yard or two in total defense. Is it the numbers maybe we've put up in other years? No, but we're also more explosive on offense. So those guys are out there faster. They're playing more, and look, they, the coordinator changed late in the summer, and those things, no matter how you look at it and those things, there's going to be a transition period, and I think there was some of those things in there, and there was some plays we didn't make as well as we needed to, but I think we've made a lot of great plays. Guys have played super hard. We've played together. We've stayed focused, and I think that they really, the bye week was good for them late in the season in week 10, and they came out, played great against Laco, so I'm hoping we can carry some of that momentum. And but we got great players. We need to make a few more plays, but I've been really pleased with the growth of the defense, and as they get to know a new coordinator and those things, but they're playing together really well.
So you can use this bye week as to your advantage again as well.
For sure.
And then the second team all landmark, we have Mark McFadden, offensive line, Tim Persons, defensive line, and LaTrey Bond, defensive back. And then we also have honorable mention, Christian Colacerdo, for specialists. I noticed Dom was kicking some PATs. How is he feeling Christian's role a little bit in that? Because I know Christian was normally kicking the extra points and everything. What's that change, and how is that different?
Yeah, I mean, Christian was struggling a little bit, and we've had the conversation. Between he and I, and obviously, he was struggling with some, extra points and a couple field goals there, and unfortunately hasn't had as many opportunities as he had a year ago, in those situations with what we've done offensively. He's been punting it really well. So, and Dom's been right on his heels, right? We talk about competition in our program all the time. Like, you got to consistently compete. Just because you started 1 week or 5 weeks, you got to keep competing and you got to keep performing. And he just was off, and that happens as a kicker. Kickers sometimes like golf, and you get the yips, as they call it, right? And it's tough, and Christian continues to work, but it was time to maybe make a change, and Dom's been pretty solid there, and it allows Christian to focus on the punting and obviously be there on whatever we need him to do as a backup, but. He handled it great. He handled it very maturely, and it allows us, I think, to stay focused on what we're doing. But just a change that needed to be made, in our program.
Sounds good. And we just mentioned all these awards and all these different mentions throughout. Everyone in Division III sees this. What does this say about the caliber of your team being able to sweep all these landmark awards and being presented all of them?
Yeah. Well, it's obviously, it's just validation of the hard work that's put in and the talent we have, and the guys that have come and believed in what we're doing and given us a chance. As I tell them, right, you gave us a chance to coach you and come to Susquehanna, and really proud of the guys and grabbing onto that, and just the caliber, I think, of our team. And but it's great to see them get recognized, and I tell them also, though, that all these awards wouldn't be possible without all your teammates, right? I think, we understand that, like, the quality of your team matters when it's player of the year. It's all conference, it's all region, it's all American. Like, not a lot of guys on 2-8 teams, are going to garner those awards. So depending on your position, for sure, but a lot of the success that guys are having and the recognition is also team award. If you're on a good team, you're going to get more of those things. And so I think that's the part that our guys don't miss and understand, and really proud of the fact that they do understand that, because when you're individual awards, it can get selfish a little bit, right? And look at me, and our guys haven't been that way at all. They understand that it's a team. It's partly a team deal. Obviously you played well on a good team. That's part of it, but it wouldn't be possible without the guys around you. So that's where I'm at.
We mentioned a lot of seniors, a lot of graduating seniors. How have they changed this program? What aspect have they brought to this program? How have your relationship formed with them the last 4 or 5 years, depending? And how can this program adapt to them graduating?
Well, we've been able to kind of keep it rolling, throughout some of the graduation, and that's the player development part of it for us. But we're going to lose a great group, for sure. The fifth years that lost their freshman year of COVID, the seniors that got recruited during COVID and came here through some interesting visit times and that stuff that you were doing there. But they've poured their heart and soul into our program, and I know they're excited for a chance in the playoffs here, and we'll miss them dearly, and miss their leadership and the way they've kind of built the team, right? The younger guys always look up to those older guys, so the way they've taken those young guys in and really made it a family and a team. But we'll definitely miss them. I mean, there's some guys that'll be Hall of Famers here, some Ring of Honor, teams and Ring of Honor guys, and I think that's it's going to be sad to see them go. Especially when you recruit them and you see them graduate, which is great, and the success they've had. Right? I mean, 3 straight titles is hard. And the success is great, and they're going to remember it forever. They'll probably remember each other more than maybe the success, but the success is what made it great a lot of times. So we'll miss them, but the program will go on, and we'll get on the road recruiting and work on the off-season stuff with our guys, and meet with them on what they need to do to get better, whether they're returning, if they're returning, and whether they're starters for us now, or we hope that they can be in the next fall. But we'll go out and recruit some really good players, as you saw with, some of our freshmen that we have this year. That's the lifeblood of your program, and we've been able to do that and have good depth and all the things that help you, throughout a season with injuries and stuff. But, we're going to be, working really hard at continuing to move our program forward. But we will miss them. But, they know that the program's in good hands, and the guys coming back will do their damnedest to get back to where we are this year. Each and every year, they've set the tone now. This group set the tone big time with championships and playoff appearances. So, there's big shoes to fill, but I'm confident our younger guys will do a good job.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I wish you luck on the rest of your season and next weekend at home with Hobart. So,
yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Hobart's a great team. It's going to be a fun ride, and let's go Riverhawks. Hope it's a long run.
Yeah, I'm one game at a time, right? Yep. It's survive in advance, as we know, and tell all your friends to come back early from break, please, and come to the game. It's one more day in the dorms. Don't worry.
Yep.
You're almost home on Christmas break. It won't kill you. So, get back, support the Riverhawks in a huge game, and let's try to pack our stadium up and use the home field advantage to help us advance.
Absolutely. Thank you once again, Coach Perk, for joining us. And we'll segue into our last ad break of the evening, where we will have our roundtable discussion here on 88.9 The Pulse. Let's close out this show strong. We'll be back right after the break.